I'm not even sure exactly what I was doing because we've been doing a lot, but I remember coming up these porch steps and then seeing my mom. She was kind of laughing and smiling, and I come up to her and she goes, "Oh, so you're a country boy now, huh?" And I looked at mom and dad and I'm like, we been country.
About to run out. Come on.
Hey, get a picture of me before the battery run out.
Okay, come on, show the fist now. Raise it up. Hey, it's so small. Hey, is it a perch?
Now when I said that, it got me thinking, like, what does that even mean, you know, to be country? I think for us, kind of starts with the dirt. Even if you got like a backyard, you know, the suburbs, like we did, you know, my parents like worked that dirt and they grew so many fruits and vegetables. But I think we grew up kind of country because of my dad. My dad's the one that's more rural. He's from a province called Bulacan in the Philippines. Dad just liked land, you know, having land to work with, and that's what his dad did. But you know, mom liked the suburbs. You know, it's close to everything. You got grocery stores, you even got Asian stores for all the cooking ingredients. You got good schools, more opportunities, more conveniences. So mom loved living in the suburbs. You know, she's close to all her friends and family and have get-togethers. But I think my dad, if he had it his way, he'd live out in the country. But he spent a lot of time overseas, so you know, mom's not gonna just go live in the country by herself. So I guess the compromise was, you know, buying land. So there was definitely a time period in our life where every single weekend we'd be out at the 13 acres. So the 13 acres is considered like recreational property. It's a 100% floodway right by a creek. so you're not allowed to build anything. But my dad, he had a cabin built, and looking at the video footage, that cabin must have been, 30 by 50 and like a 15-foot covered porch. My dad had our neighbor Ben build that house, and the roads to get there is just mud holes and ruts. He had to haul in every piece of wood and every piece of material to build that thing. I went back there recently with my buddy Logan. He's got this jacked up old school Suburban. It's a lot worse now. There's trees in the road. There's parts of the road that have been washed out, and lots of ruts, deep, thick mud. Kodiak is leaning. Oh, we in there. That's a rut right there. But we finally got to the entrance of the property. The trail is still there, but kind of overgrown with palmettos and little saplings and trees. It's been about 15 years since I've been back to the 13 acres. That cabin was gone like 15 years ago. Like, it got washed away by a flood. All that hard work and money in that cabin literally just floated away. This is where just the footing for the cabin. Wow, it's just gone.
I mean, think about it. Really, you'd have to have a good off-road vehicle to even get here.
No, so that was our cabin, and then here's this untouched creek. So the only thing left there is this old gold Impala. Check out our old Impala, bro. Still here.
Bullet holes.
Oh, we used to run up on it and shoot it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I used to roll up on. I jumped on the hood and I was like, "Get out the car!" Said it just like that. Yeah, so every weekend, we'd be out there, clearing land with the tractor, rolling logs, making fires. I was thinking the other day, Ron? Like, which one of our other Asian friends grew up as country as we did? Like, we got exposed to this stuff early. Like, we've been clearing trees, burning stuff down since rolling logs.
Roland, Dad always cut the logs. Would they tell us to roll it somewhere?
Just roll it somewhere.
Later on when we had the tractor, it was fun.
Yeah, playing with the tractor.
Hey Dad, what are you doing with that?
Dude, I'd take that little John Deere ride lawnmower, I just ride straight through that. Straight through the small pine.
That's a lot of those small pines.
Yeah, it just took over. Yeah. Dad always had a project, but at some point, we just got kind of bored with it, and he would just let us loose loose in the woods to go do whatever we want. And so we had this little rectangular plastic boat from Academy, you know, and we'd all try to get on there. You know, there's like, that thing could fit like 4 people max. You know, 3's really pushing it. I think it's ideal for 2. But we used to all just get on that boat, just like some FOBs, just like fresh off the boat. You know, this creek's pretty deep in the middle, and my mom never learned to swim, so we were all on there. I think me and my 2 brothers and my dad used to have this little, you know, pool floaty, and we were pulling my pulling my mom around. And later on, we found out that there's actually alligators in that creek. I think it, like, looking back on it, it was kind of sketchy for my mom, and then that was good stuff. We were just wild kids just running loose in the woods. And, you know, we'd have these firework wars where, you know, you get like a slingshot, right? You get your slingshot here, and your ammo is like a Black Cat firecracker, and then you got your punk here in your mouth, and then you pull back, you know, you light the fuse, and then let it off and hit your buddy. You know, I got childhood friends to this day that'll still, like, you know, bring up old memories from the 13 acres. But, you know, on an average, you know, weekend, we're pretty much just like hanging out and camping. You know, mom's cooking on the grill.
Mom. Say something to the Philippines.
Ganito kami nagluluto dito sa uli. Sa kahoy, kasi maraming kahoy. Nagluluto na tumiiwan sa tabi. Yung malaking ground. Kasi maraming kahoy. Ang kahoy dito, nakakalat lang. Yun yung mga kahoy.
You know, we're running around playing in the dirt. Shooting guns. We're shooting a lot of guns.
Rex, hold up your gun. Ronald, look over here. Baril ako. Tingnan mo akong baril.
And I guess that's what I mean, like, we grew up that way, and I can't call it nothing else but, like, you know, just some country shit. You know, I was saying this to someone, like, even if you grew up, you know, in a major city, if you grew up in the South, like, you know, Houston, Texas, like, you could be in the city, in the suburbs, and then, you know, 5 minutes away is country, is like cow fields. You know, you always grow up a little city, a little country, you know, if you grew up in the South. And you always have like that one, you know, family member or family friend that are the country people, and they invite you out. You know, you go out to their property or you go out to their land, and it would just recently that I found out that, like, we were that country family. No, so that's what I mean by, you know, being country. You know, I say all this because as much of a city boy that I became, you know, through fishing and traveling and seeing, you know, different parts of the world and this country, there's always like city people and country people. And I found that, you know, as far as like my interests and things I like to do and how I want to spend my time, I definitely am a country guy. Like, I lean more towards that way. I feel like this is some kind of you know, I'm coming out country message or something. But no, I'm just saying we've been country, and it caught me off guard when my mom says, "Oh, you're a country boy now." You know, mainly because she's seen how much of a city boy I was. She just got a kick out of seeing me, like, you know, wearing like shrimp boots and cutting down trees and raking leaves and, you know, just playing in the dirt.
Dude.
So when my parents bought the 13 acres, they also bought another property, 5 acres. And the 5 acres is pretty much, you know, a neighborhood with big acreage. You know, so there's people out here with, you know, 5 acres, 10 acres, you know, 15 acres. So it's a neighborhood, so there's actually, you know, paved roads with access to your property. As we got older, my parents came to the 5 acres instead of the 13 acres because it was just too hard to get back there. And so my parents would come to the 5 acres and pretty much just camp out and hang out, kind of the same stuff they would do in the 13 acres, you know, except over here, you know, they got water and then they got electricity and eventually they built a shed. You know, they were out here, you know, glamping, like glamorous camping. But then, you know, our neighbor Ben, the one who built the cabin at the 13 acres, he's our neighbor to the 5 acres. So he ended up, you know, passing away. And we ended up buying his lot next to us, another 5 acres, and his half-built home. You know, Ben's gonna get his own dedicated story because he was such a big part of our country experience, and Ben did all the work. Ben did all the work. But yeah, so this 10-acre property and Ben's finished house is where I've been staying the last 10 years. Honestly, like, I haven't done much with the house and the property in those last 10 years because, you know, I was really kind of in a transitional period where, you know, I had started a business and I was trying to figure out what's the next move and kind of be open to it. And the thing is with land is, like, once you start working on it and clearing it, then it becomes this whole maintenance process, and then there's just always work to do when you have property. In addition to a house that was kind of roughly finished out, there's a lot of work to be done. And so I just didn't really start on it. I was just pretty much camping out here the last 10 years. This house has mainly been like a weekend house. Actually, this house, the primary function of this house was a storage facility. And then you had some beds and stuff where you can kind of camp out while if you want to get some country time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Alright. We found this for you in the garage.
Oh yeah?
We thought you might like it. Sit down, sit down.
Found this in the garage. Down. Oh, I've been looking for this for
I bet you have.
a long time.
That looks like a serious harmonica.
Yeah. And how about this? Oh,
The whole accompaniment.
wow. All my
Pati ako tuturuan mo mag-cilindro.
wow.
That's your bag of harmonicas.
Yeah. But this is the most expensive.
Yeah, are you gonna play Happy Birthday for yourself or what, like you always do?
Oh, tugtugan happy birthday to me.
Use your fancy one.
This is the fancy one.
Yay! Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yay!
Si Buddy, si vocalist.
You guys had a duet. Anyways, last year, Mom had a fall and ended up getting a total hip replacement. And I've been trying to convince my parents to just come move out to the property and kind of enjoy their retirement here. Mom's always been hesitant. You know, she wants to be close to the doctors and her friends and family. You know, Dad, if Mom said, let's go move to the acres, he'd be like, let's go. So Dad didn't need any convincing, but you know, after Mom fell, she finally agreed to move into the property. This is where we've been staying the last year, and you know, I've just been taking care of my parents, you know, making sure they eat good, and you know, they get to all their doctor's appointments, just anything they need help with. You know, my parents have been such great parents, and you know, with my work, you know, and my businesses, being able to work out of the house, you know, I have the time. I'm also like, you know, I don't got kids or a wife. Basically, I got the time. You know, it worked out. So that's what I've been doing, man. I've been learning how to cook. Mom's been teaching me how to cook and garden. Me and Dad have been kind of, you know, doing all the clearing and laying down mulch and, you know, all the country landowner things. You know, my parents have been great parents as 5 kids, and all their grandkids and great grandkids, and I consider myself, you know, super lucky to be able to spend these golden years with my parents in a beautiful place where they can relax and just enjoy life. You know, it can definitely get heavy sometimes, you know, with your parents getting older, and various, you know, medical conditions.
Sabi ko, lumabas kami. Lumabas ka rin. Lumabas ka, meron pang
Tractor.
tractor.
That's not the same as walking, huh? You know, it's crazy when I look at all the different stuff I've done in my life. This is probably, you know, the most important thing, important time, you know, for me and my family. My main gig right now is making sure we're living a good life. We always got family over. My parents, you know, close friends, they stop by. after putting in a full year's worth of work here, it's a good feeling. Like, I know it's been my parents' dream to kind of see the full potential of this property and actually living on their properties and building it out how they want and just using the land and the dirt like it's supposed to be, and not just like have everything kind of overgrown and overrun. So it's been cool to spend time and build it out and see it come to life. And for me, in addition to my parents kind of seeing their dream being built out, I think it'd be nice for Ben to see his property being used as well, and his home being lived in and used and enjoyed and appreciated. Start over.
Start over, intro, Dad. Go ahead, intro.
Start over,
Let's
Dad.
Let's go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lola Jovilit. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Everybody look, smile. Hey, everybody look. Mimi, look. Everybody smile. How old are you now? Blow your candles out.
Everybody,
Here,
let's fan it.
Let's fan it.
Faster, honey, faster.
Clap.
Nico, no.
Oh, just spit on it. So there's a lot of dreams being fulfilled in all the work that's been done out here. So I guess it's some kind of announcement saying like this is kind of the direction. I don't get to do that much fishing anymore. I still get all my outside time here, obviously with all the work of the property. But yeah, if anything, I'm gonna start making videos again, really for my friends and family to kind of keep up with what me and my parents are doing out here. And if you want to tag along and watch, you're more than welcome to. I'm an outsider.